I think it's about time we talked about the cloud. Because ever since Gamescom, Xbox fanboys, namely Iron Wolf, who we'll be talking about in this video, have been roaming around the streets in vindicated cheer, saying that us detractors, us skeptics who were skeptical of the power of the cloud and Microsoft's claims have been proven wrong. And that's the key word there, proven wrong. As many of you know, I'm a very critical person, and I like to think about things and try and ascertain the truth behind claims compared to what is reality. That's an important thing to do in this console generation in particular, especially when it's so frequently been demonstrated that you can't trust the claims of developers and publishers. This is something that Xbox fanboys, especially Iron Wolf, still do not understand. They still do not understand this point, and I think it's about time we talked about cloud computing, why I haven't been proven wrong, and if anything, you've just demonstrated your complete ineptitude, as well as why you need to start thinking more in the future. This is addressed to everybody, by the way, not just this knoblik. Though obviously I will be talking about him since it's his fault this video even exists, because, as many of you know, I don't respond to people unless they talk about me first. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So, first thing we need to talk about is whether or not we can even trust Microsoft's statements about the cloud, period. Microsoft have been talking about the cloud since before the Xbox One even released, and similarly, so have the Xbox fanboys. They've been hyping up the cloud since the announcement, talking about how it's gonna make the Xbox One more powerful, which demonstrates a complete lack of understanding about what the cloud actually is, and just talking about how it's gonna curb stomp the PS4. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, cloud computing is basically the streaming of data between points. It usually has to do with the more powerful PC, or it's really more like a data bank, really, that's streaming the data to a console or a less powerful piece of hardware. That is what cloud computing is. So, it doesn't make the hardware more powerful, it just streams data to it. It's not the same thing, but back to the point. So, we've got these guys who are saying that Microsoft are right and that I'm wrong. That I've been proven wrong about my claims about the cloud based on what they have said will be the case in Crackdown 3, which will supposedly be using the cloud for the 100% destruction in multiplayer. Now, they're saying I'm wrong because they said that it will be using the cloud. And because they did a tech demo and they said it was using the cloud. Where have Microsoft said their games will be using the cloud before? Oh, that's right, they said it about Forza 5 with the Drivatar, which actually wasn't the case. It was just, I mean, it's not cloud computing. That was very vaguely worded, but it's not cloud computing to do that. And then they said it about Titanfall's AI, which was proven to be wrong, as it was on the PC. And they said it was using the cloud, but it wasn't. So we have two examples where Microsoft have said games are running on the cloud that weren't. And you still want to sit here and tell me, yeah, they're trustworthy when it comes to talking about the cloud. How can you be sure that it's running on the cloud when they've lied about stuff in the past? This is ignoring them saying their games were running on Xboxes when they were actually running on PCs, which very well could have been the case for Crackdown 3 at Gamescom. Also, they're saying, well, we've seen it, so that's all we need to know. How many games have we seen over the past few years alone that were shown off and were different when they came out? You've forgotten about Watch Dogs, Aliens, Colonial Marines. You've forgotten about, most recently, The Witcher 3. What is shown before launch at this stage of gaming is not representative of the final product. It's not. You can't look at what's shown before launch and say, yep, that's the game. You can make judgments based on what you have seen in terms of whether or not it looks fun or not, which is what I've been doing about Crackdown, instead of you idiots who only care about the cloud computing part. But that's what I've been doing. But that's not the same as me saying, this is what Crackdown 3 will be like at launch. And while you may not be saying that, by saying that I am wrong, that is ostensibly what you're saying. You're just not saying it directly. So, even ignoring that, let's say, for the sake of argument, that all of this is true. That I'm wrong, that I'm such an idiot, and Crackdown 3 ends up using the cloud for its destructibility. We've also had some facts come out that explain the point that I've been making about cloud computing since the fucking beginning. Now, the developers have said, well, it's only in multiplayer, so there's that out of the way. I thought it would be in campaign too, but nope, it's just multiplayer. So we know that now. And what they have said, the developers namely, have said that with Crackdown 3, it will require about 4 times the bandwidth of a regular multiplayer game. What have I been saying about the cloud since the beginning? What happens when your internet slows down or drops? It stops working. And now we have them coming out saying that if you don't have a fast enough internet, you won't be able to play multiplayer. Now, fun fact, Iron Wolf and Crap Gamer and all of you idiots who have such a Western-centric mind point, in most places around the world, internet is bad. And it's not because they're too poor to get better internet, it's because of geographical or technological limitations in the locations. For example, in Australia, internet runs through the telephone wires instead of faster, more powerful things like fiber optics, which was gonna get rolled out here until our Prime Minister basically killed that program, but that's another rant for another day. Now, telephone wires aren't the best for transmitting information, and your speed is capped for starters because of the fact that it's telephone wires, and it's entirely dependent on how close you are to the tower, the transmitter. So, where I live, there's just a cap on my internet that's out of my control. So then you can't say, we'll just get better internet. Some people simply will not be able to play Crackdown 3's multiplayer because of its reliance on cloud computing. This is the point. Even if cloud computing is a reality, it's not this win for everybody. It means some people won't be able to play a portion of the game's fucking modes because of cloud computing. It's also not very flattering to the Xbox One, frankly, to say, well, it can't render a building falling down. Oh yeah, this is a great current generation where you can't even have a game have buildings fall down. So, with all of that in mind, we know that we can't always trust what developers say, and I'm still skeptical. I don't care what people keep saying. I want to see it for myself when the game comes out. We know that things change. We know all of this. And then you're trying to tell me I've been proven wrong because Microsoft said so. Yet you idiots, you same morons will claim that Sony have flat out lied about their sales figures without evidence, while I have evidence to back up my skepticism instead of straight up accusing them of lying. It's funny how that works. So with all of that in mind, now the offer's out on the table to any of these Xbox fanboys who want to debate me on DirectX 12, which they've suddenly gone quiet on since they've been proven wrong about that, and the cloud. If you want to talk to me about it, that's fine. Talk to me in the comments. Talk to me on Twitter if you want. I can't talk to Iron Wolf anymore since he blocked me again, like Dread, but that's another rant for another day. Feel free to contact me on Skype if you want to talk to me and do a live debate. But understand that I have a critical mind. I think beyond what is just said. I think beyond face value, and I know my stuff. But the offer's on the table. I know I won't get any because, as we know with these guys, they're complete pussies. They're complete cowards. They will talk shit about you, block, and then talk shit about you when you can't contact them. But this video was long enough. Offers on the table. Feel free to talk to me about the cloud. And until you can, and until this game comes out and we can see it for ourselves, then you really have no leg to stand on. You can't say that I'm wrong. Oh, and also, fun fact for you guys, how about instead of focusing on the cloud, be like me, at least before you idiots started talking shit, and be like me before that, when we were talking about the quality of Gamescom, which I actually thought was good. I thought that Gamescom was good. But yeah, I'm just a Sony pony. I hate Xbox, even though I said their 2016 lineup looks great, even though I said I'm looking forward to Halo Wars 2. Yeah, he's just a pony. Great comeback, Todd. Like FringyGaming. Yeah, that's great. You deserve an Emmy for that. But before I lose my mind, there you go. Offers on the table. Feel free to contact me if you want to talk about it. But I know you won't.